She smirked and slid the chessboard across the cafe table like it was a game she'd already won. "Beat me, and I'll go on a date with you," the CEO challenged. Everyone watching chuckled, until the single dad quietly made one move that changed everything. Her smile dropped, her hands trembled, and her past came roaring back to life. Before we dive in, drop a comment with where you're watching from, and don't forget to hit subscribe for more videos like this. Let's begin. The city cafe was loud, full of early morning chatter and espresso machines hissing like steam trains. In the middle of it all, she sat like she owned the universe. Scarlett Hart, 32, Chief Executive Officer of Arcadium Dynamics. Ice in her veins, diamonds on her wrists. She didn't believe in luck, only leverage. She didn't play games for fun, she played to crush. And across from her, a man with oil-stained hands, a beat-up denim jacket, and a worn-out leather chess set tucked under his arm. Nathan Cole, 34, single dad, works 2 jobs, nights as a cab driver, weekends as a mechanic. But on Sundays, he teaches his daughter how to play chess at this very cafe. That morning, he walked in expecting nothing more than a croissant and a peace. He never thought he'd be publicly challenged by a woman who usually signed million-dollar deals before lunch. "You always bring that thing around?" she asked, tapping the wooden board like it offended her. He smiled calmly. "Yeah, helps me think. Life's a chessboard, right?" "Cute," she said. "Let's play then. Beat me and I'll go on a date with you." Laughter erupted from nearby tables. She was the boss's boss in heels. He was just a nobody who smelled like engine grease. But Nathan didn't flinch. He opened the board, moved a pawn. "Your move." What happened next silenced the room. Scarlett's opening was sharp, aggressive, calculated. She leaned forward, eyes locked on his. Her moves had crushed Wall Street analysts and boardroom rivals alike. But 5 minutes in, he flipped the game. His rook slid into position. Her king was cornered. People watching gasped. Scarlett froze. This wasn't supposed to happen. She had a plan, control. But this man, he wasn't playing to impress her. He was playing like someone who had nothing left to lose. "Checkmate," Nathan said quietly. Dead silence. She blinked, swallowed. The room spun. This wasn't just a game to her anymore. "Where did you learn to play like that?" she asked, her voice softer now. Nathan gathered the pieces without answering. "Tomorrow," she said, almost whispering. "Same time. You get your date?" But behind that calm voice, something deeper stirred. Because a decade ago, she knew that face, that name. And back then, she had betrayed someone who wore that same face. Scarlett Hart had a secret, and Nathan Cole was about to bring it all crashing down. Scarlett Hart didn't sleep that night. Not because she lost. She could handle losing. It was his face, that voice, the way he looked at the chessboard like it was war. She'd seen that before, once, years ago. When she was 21 and working undercover with her elite internship team at Harmon-Tech's AI division, gathering data in rough districts for a street-level outreach program. There was a boy who played chess near the food pantry. A kid with nothing but a dying mother and a sister to feed. He was brilliant, quiet, a protector, and she betrayed him for a promotion. She told herself it was survival, that he'd forget. But now, sitting in her penthouse office with the skyline glowing behind her, she couldn't forget his eyes. Because Nathan Cole didn't just beat her at chess. He shattered her armor. Nathan sat alone that same night in his small, dim apartment. His daughter, Lily, asleep in the next room. He stared at the broken frame on the table, his ex-wife smiling with another man. He didn't regret losing her. He regretted the years Lily went without kindness from either parent, except him. Nathan never cared about fame or vengeance. He only wanted peace. But now, the woman who once crushed him and vanished just challenged him to a second round. And this time, he wasn't walking away. The next morning, Scarlett waited at the cafe again. No heels, no lipstick, just jeans and a jacket. Casual, vulnerable. Her staff would have fainted if they saw her. She didn't want a game. She wanted answers. Nathan showed up 5 minutes late. Same denim jacket, same calm. He sat across from her without a word. "No chessboard today?" she asked, voice tighter than intended. "I didn't come for a game," he said flatly. "I came to ask something." Her breath hitched. He pulled out a folded paper. A letter. Her old letter. Her signature. Her betrayal. "You remember this?" Her face paled. She stared at the page, the internship contract she rewrote to cut him out and claim his project as hers. He never even got a chance to pitch it. "I remember," she whispered. Nathan's eyes didn't flinch. "That move cost me everything. My college fund, my mom's treatment, my trust in people." The cafe went quiet again, like the universe paused. "I was a different person," she said. "I didn't know how to survive without stepping on someone." "You chose your survival," he replied, "over someone who would have given you his last dollar." Scarlett looked away. "I didn't come here to destroy you," he added, "but maybe it's time you remembered what it's like to play fair." He stood. "You said I won a date," he continued, "but I don't want your time." "What do you want?" she asked, barely able to breathe. He paused, looked her in the eyes. "I want you to meet my daughter. She's 10. She thinks people like you don't exist. Prove her wrong." And with that, Nathan walked out, leaving Scarlett Hart, CEO, Queen of Strategy, completely speechless. Scarlett had walked into boardrooms where billionaires held knives behind their smiles. She'd stared down regulators, outsmarted competitors, even fired her own cousin. But this was the first time in her life she felt unworthy. The next day, a black car pulled up to a small home with chipped paint and a porch swing that squeaked in the breeze. She hesitated before stepping out, heels replaced by sneakers, a nervous tremble in her fingers. She wasn't here as a CEO. She was here as a woman who'd burned a bridge and wanted to build it back. The door creaked open before she could knock. Nathan stood there, silent. Behind him, a little girl peeked from around his leg. "Lily," he said softly, "this is Miss Hart. She's here for chess." The girl's eyes lit up. "You play?" Scarlett knelt to her level. "Not as well as your dad, but I'd love to learn from you." Lily's grin was shy, unsure, but she nodded and ran back inside. Scarlett followed. The living room was modest, cushions stitched, shelves stacked with secondhand books, the kind of place where love kept things together when money didn't. They sat on the floor, Scarlett and Lily. Nathan watched from the kitchen, arms crossed. As Lily set up the board, she asked, "Do rich people play chess different?" Scarlett blinked. "Honestly, most of them don't even know how to lose." Lily giggled. "You talk like you're not one of them." Scarlett smiled, but her chest ached. She played, she listened, she laughed, she let Lily win. And with every move, the distance between them shrank. After an hour, Scarlett stood to leave. Nathan followed her to the porch. "She likes you," he said. Scarlett stared at the sunset. "You didn't bring me here for revenge." "No. You brought me here to remind me what I broke." Nathan didn't answer. "I was cruel," she whispered, "and I buried that version of me under paychecks and power." You didn't bury her, Nathan said. You put her in a penthouse and told her not to feel anything. Her breath caught. Let me ask you something, he added. Do you think you can change? Scarlett's voice cracked. I don't know, but I want to. He stepped closer. Then start by being the kind of person she believes you are, he said, nodding toward Lily's silhouette in the window. Scarlett blinked back the tears she hadn't expected. And just before she walked away, she said one thing she hadn't said in years. Thank you. But inside Nathan, he wasn't sure if forgiveness was something he could give so easily. Not yet. Not until she proved it. Scarlett didn't return to the penthouse that night. She sat alone in her car, parked outside a community center where she used to volunteer before power and pride became her currency. Through the window, she saw kids laughing over donated board games, one of them struggling to move a knight the right way. And something in her cracked. She realized she hadn't just stolen a project from Nathan. She'd stolen the very thing he was trying to build. A future. The next morning, Nathan found an envelope in his mailbox. No name, no card, just a check. A donation. Enough to pay off his mother's old hospital debt, the one he'd been dragging behind him like a shadow for years. He stared at the signature. Scarlet Heart. Below it, a note. This isn't redemption. This is my first move. S. That afternoon, Scarlett was called to her own boardroom, not to lead, but to defend herself. Someone leaked internal emails, old ones, revealing the deals she made back then to steal credit for a certain AI sketch. Executives were furious. Her board demanded answers. You built this company on strategy, Scarlett, one director hissed. But if your past was built on betrayal, that foundation is cracking. She sat silently, then said, You're right. The room paused. I'm not proud of what I did to get here, but I'm proud of who I want to become, starting now. They scoffed. Are you asking us for forgiveness? No, she said steady. I'm giving you the truth. And whether I stay or walk, I won't hide behind a lie anymore. And she left. The hallway outside felt colder than it ever had. But for the first time in years, she felt lighter. That night, she knocked on Nathan's door again. He didn't answer right away. When he opened it, he looked tired. Guarded, but not angry. You didn't have to pay that bill, he said. I know, she replied, but I needed to. She handed him another envelope, this one smaller. Inside, a letter of confession addressed to the tech journal that once published her stolen breakthrough. I'm giving it back to you. Your credit, your work, your name. Nathan's eyes dropped to the paper. His throat tightened. I never needed you to ruin yourself, he said quietly. I just needed to know you saw me. Scarlett stepped back. And I do now, she whispered. Every version of you, especially the one who taught me how to lose. That night, Nathan sat beside Lily, watching her sleep. Her tiny hand clutched a rook from the chessboard like a teddy bear. He turned the letter over again and again in his hands. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about truth, healing, and maybe something deeper he didn't have words for yet. 2 weeks later, the cafe was full again. Scarlett sat at her usual table, but this time she wasn't in control. No expensive suit, no entourage, just a woman with nerves fluttering in her chest, and a story waiting to close. Across from her, Nathan walked in, holding Lily's hand. She had a ribbon in her hair and the same shy smile that once shattered every barrier Scarlett built. Scarlett stood. I wasn't sure you'd come, she said. Nathan raised an eyebrow. You sent me a chessboard with my name carved into it. Felt like a challenge. She chuckled. It was more like a peace offering. They sat. This wasn't about the game anymore. But they played anyway, piece by piece. Silence and glances, memories between each move. And halfway through, Lily tugged Scarlett's sleeve and whispered, "Do you like my dad?" Scarlett froze. Nathan coughed, startled. Lily grinned innocently. "He's nice, and when you're here, he smiles different." Scarlett looked at Nathan. There was something in his eyes, no longer guarded, just open. "I do," Scarlett answered gently. "I didn't know how much until I almost lost the chance." Lily nodded seriously, as if making a mental note. "Okay. But don't hurt him again, or I'll put my queen in your face." Scarlett burst out laughing. Even Nathan couldn't hold back a smile. Later that evening, they walked together, Scarlett, Nathan, and Lily, through the park. Leaves rustled overhead. Kids laughed in the distance. The kind of night that felt like a soft promise. "I spent so long proving I could win," Scarlett said quietly. "I forgot what it meant to be human." Nathan nodded. "You reminded me, too, that sometimes strength isn't about standing your ground. It's about forgiving." She stopped walking. "Then maybe we both lost something back then," she whispered. "But maybe we both found something better now." He turned toward her, watching the wind blow hair across her face. "Maybe," he said. "But next time we play chess, no distractions, no stakes." Scarlett smiled. "Deal." And as Lily ran ahead, her laughter echoing through the park, Nathan took Scarlett's hand. No more games, no more power plays, just two people, quietly healing. One move at a time. Checkmate. But this time, everybody won.